We've just returned from our prototype journey, and one of the things we're asked about most is our recirculating shower system. And in this video, I'm going to show you the heart of that recirculating shower system, and hopefully give you enough information that you'll be able to install it in your own van. But before we do that, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And remember, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Now, let's go take a look at the shower system. This is a 13-gallon water tank, which is part of the total freshwater system in the van. This is completely independent of the recirculating shower system. All three 13-gallon water tanks will be linked together. So when I flip the switch, an electronic ball valve will fill the 5-gallon tank that's underneath the van for the shower system. And it will also, when I flip another switch, empty directly from that 5-gallon tank. If you took a look at the recirculating shower prototype that I did in my garage, I had 2 tanks. Many people commented that they weren't necessary, and they're correct. I eliminated one of those tanks. The 5-gallon tank was at one time going to be housed right here, but I eliminated that tank, saved some space, and I gained the ability to have another 13 gallons of fresh water. And fresh water is very important when you're on the road. So as you can see, all of this is just laid out here, and it's not all permanent yet. I'm doing it step by step, and it's really important to make sure you cut your pipe so that there's no stress. Also, I switched the type of Propex I'm using. This pipe is Propex A, and I expect to do a little video comparison and show you what the difference is between those two. This is more durable, much more flexible, and easier to work with. This is the heart of our recirculating shower system. It's under a seat between our refrigerator and our bed. The best way to understand the system is to follow the path of water. So, moving these 2 filters out of the way, you'll see that the water comes up through the van, and this is a stainless steel scour pad that I stuffed in the hole to keep any bugs or rodents from coming up through the hole. The water comes from the 5-gallon tank that's underneath the van. Comes up through this flexible pipe and enters this spin down filter. The spin down filter is very important. It filters out any large debris that might hurt the diaphragm that's inside the pump. The water exits the spin down filter and it goes through a stainless steel flexible hose into the pump. Then it exits the pump and goes through these 2 filters. One of these filters is a sediment filter. The next one is a carbon filter. These look pretty clean, and they haven't been changed in more than 18 days. We just came back from our 18-day prototype journey, and they're still looking pretty good. Then the water goes through this flexible hose, through a shutoff valve, into the UV sterilizer. After the water is sterilized, it goes through this hose into a T. At this T, the water goes into the water tank and is heated, and the hot water comes out here and goes to the hot water side of the shower. The other side of this T goes to the cold side of the shower. When you take a shower and the water drains, it drains back into that 5-gallon gray tank. And then the cycle starts all over again, where the water comes back up through here, goes through the motor, through the filters, through the UV sterilizer, and it's a complete recirculating system. The hot water tank we have here is a Bosch tank. It holds 4 gallons of water. The maximum amount of water that we can hold in the gray tank below is 5 gallons. So that's a total of 9 gallons of water. A couple key things about this installation. You notice on this spin down filter there's a 90-degree PEX fitting. It's flexible. That 90-degree fitting is also on both sides of the pump and on both sides of the filter. And you can see on the filter here, it's fully flexible. And that allowed me to get this flexible pipe pushed around in the proper direction that I could fit everything underneath the seat. If I didn't have those, it would have been very difficult, possibly impossible, to get everything to fit underneath. Another key thing is this little red button here. When you press that button, you're going to see some water come out, because that's the pressure relief valve that'll allow you to undo this canister with ease. Without that pressure relief valve, it would be very difficult to change these filters out. So that's something to look for when you buy your filter housings. That pretty much fully explains what's happening up here. Now we'll go underneath and take a look at the gray tank. It's a little difficult to get a good angle to show you the tank under the van. I'm on the driver's side, and this is the muffler pipe. This is the 5-gallon water tank, which is on the passenger side for the recirculating shower system. This 1.5-inch PVC pipe is the drain that goes into the 5-gallon tank. This PEX pipe right here is the drain from the 5-gallon tank, and we flip a switch on the electronic ball valve that's at the end of this pipe, which is near the rear of the van, and the water drains out. So when we want to empty this gray tank, we do it by flipping that switch. Right here is where the water exits the 5-gallon tank and goes up through the spin down filter and into the pump and through the whole shower system that I showed you earlier. One of the things that I thought I would do, and that is add some sensors to this tank so I could see when it was full. But after our 18-day journey, that's really not necessary. I can fill this tank by opening one of the valves on our fresh water tanks. It'll fill this tank up, and I'll know it's full when clean water starts to come out this overflow tube. So I really don't need any sensors, but down the line I may still install them. But it works great right now. Another thing I did in my installation is I used some flex pipe underneath where the gray tanks are to keep vibration from causing a leak in the future. So if you see this piece of PVC pipe right here, this piece of PVC pipe is actually just split in half and is covering the flexible pipe. Now let's see if I can pull this off. This PVC pipe is a 3-inch pipe that I had laying around that I just cut down the center on the table saw and use it as a sleeve to protect this flexible piece of pipe. That flexible spa tubing is there so that there's no leaks caused by vibration. And since I had it, I put this pipe over it to keep any rocks, debris from putting a hole in the flexible pipe. And that just fits on there to protect it. One last thing to point out is that the drain from the shower is very close to the muffler. So where the drain comes out of the van right here, I put the heat shield, and I also put a piece of concrete board to protect the PVC pipe from the heat from the muffler. On our journey, I checked to be sure that this was not getting too hot, and it remained perfectly cool. It was not as big of a problem as I expected it to be. Hopefully this video has given you all the information you need to start a recirculating shower project in your van. All the materials and resources used to create this recirculating shower system will be listed in the description. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I always read those and try to respond as quickly as possible. If you haven't seen the recirculating shower prototype video, where I built this entire thing in my garage and even took several showers in the garage, actually for a few weeks, please take a look at that video. It's one of the more popular videos, and in that series I even have the schematics of the recirculating shower system. If you haven't given this a thumbs up, please think about doing so. I would appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do that today also. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll see me on the next one.